today I wanted to say something about what I went through. And I'm 23 years old, so I'm young. And something really crazy happened that I didn't think was ever going to happen. And, generally you hear that word and you're like, oh man, oh man. Like, especially to be said to you, let alone when I told people and people were like, no way, like that's just crazy, and the shock and you'd think that of all the things to happen to you, it'd be the worst thing. But it was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, when I look at everything as a whole, or my life as a whole, I needed it to happen. Like, it needed to happen in order for me to realize life was worth living. I know that's just a crazy thing, but it needed to happen. And, I was pretty, I don't know, my reaction was kind of, I don't know if it was sad, it was shock, but it was also, in a way, like, this is what needed to happen. I don't know how to explain it. It's such a weird explanation. But when the doctor said, Cam, it's cancer, I was kind of really silent about it, and I thought I'd be really angry because the months leading up, it was kind of a few hints here and there, and I was kind of thinking that it's a possibility, but when it gets said to you, I was kind of like just silent. And then as time went on, I was like, I started thinking about life and realizing that I haven't been living life properly. I've been, procrastinating and taking things for granted and taking people for granted. And then it's like, I didn't do what I wanted to do. And when you get to a point where you're no longer in control of your own life, and you have to hope that the doctors, or hope the medicine, or just sit there and hope that you're gonna be all right. All you're left with is looking back at the past and accepting that, what, the first 23 years of my life, I have to accept, possibly, that that's all my life is. And when I did that, I wasn't happy. I was like, I can't believe that I didn't say this certain thing to this third person, or I didn't do the stuff that I loved. Doesn't matter whether, it did well, or, I was successful or whatever. I just didn't do it. And yeah, I think that having cancer made me realize that I've just got to go out and live life. It's a crazy thing to think about, because you don't always think about it, because life is just always, you take it for granted. But, when I got that thing, the thing that I thought I'd never get, I didn't even think about it because I'm so young. Like, why would you even prepare for that? But then it happens and you're like, oh man, like, now I gotta really rethink my life. And without cancer, I would have just kept on going the way I was, right? And it's just actually crazy. Like, I probably, actually, 100% I wouldn't be saying this, recording this right now if I didn't have cancer. I would just be living my life, hiding everything that I talk about, being a really private person, just going, I always wanted to be great, but I never actually took the steps to do that. And I still don't really know what being great is. Still trying to figure out exactly what I want, but I know that my purpose somewhere lies with, making an impact and, dying knowing that I've done everything I can to make some sort of impact in the world. and not just being another person and then just forgotten about, like some sort of impact. And I just don't think I had any impact before, because I guess there's no, when you're almost, I'll put it this way, when you're old and you're like on your deathbed and like you think about all the things that you do, when you're old, let's say you're 90 in your 90s, and like you're thinking about all the things that happened in your life, because you're basically at the end of your life and you get to look back. You don't get that until you're really old, right? Like it's almost like you don't look at your whole life until like you're at the end of it. And as a 23-year-old, I kind of got that, even though, the odds were in my favor to make it out. I still had to think the possibility of the small chance that this is it. I got to almost get my deathbed moment, and I got to sit there for 3 months, lying in my bed, just thinking about my past and thinking about if I do have a future, it's got to change. And maybe I'm lucky. Maybe, you'd say, oh, he's unlucky as a young guy getting cancer, but maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I got to have that chance to rethink my life, because usually when you're old and you rethink your life, or not rethink, you look back at your life, it's not like you can do much to the future, right? Because you're at the end of your life and you're thinking all of those memories and stuff. And I kind of got that, but at the start of my life, right, in my 20s. So now that I've got so much time, I can do all of that. And I don't know, if it comes back or if something bad happens again, then I guess I'll go to sleep every night knowing that I've done everything that I can, which I guess in a way I didn't have that before, so I am grateful. And having cancer is the best thing that ever happened to me. There's definitely a lot of good things that have happened in my life, but nothing else. I can hear the birds chirping. I hope that doesn't go through the mic, but I guess now I just get to live my life. Actually, I can't even remember what I was talking about before, but I get to live my life now, and I should, because tomorrow really isn't promised. And as cliche as that sounds, I should be a testament to that. Tomorrow isn't promised, and I have to look at myself and go, yeah, like I've got to make every moment count. And without cancer, I'm not really sure if I would ever have have these thoughts, because when you're young, you do take things for granted, right? Because you think you have so much time left, but never at the start of, a year ago, I would have never thought I'd be in this situation. I'd never thought that, I'd come that close, I guess, to death. So yeah, I guess it had to happen. As much as I'm not saying that it was the best, like it was fun. All right, it was definitely not fun, but it needed to happen, I guess. In the long run. The short term, it was a horrible couple of months. I'll tell you that for sure. But in the long run, it works out. Like it's going to change my life for the better. And to end it here, I'm not like the successful, amazing, worked my whole life out. I'm actually literally only like a month or so after I finished treatment. So I'm not in that, figured my life out. I'm just starting to figure out. I'm only starting to figure out where I want this life to go. So I guess this is the start of the journey. So we'll look at this, watch this or listen to this in a couple of years or maybe a decade time and see where we are. because this is just the start, and I'm excited to see where this goes. So yeah, thank you for listening. It's been I still really need to get some notes down because I feel like I do ramble on a little bit, but thank you for making it this far, and I'll see you around.